All right, good morning, everybody. All right, looking at this one, TRVI. It looks fairly safe. Going to pick up about 450 shares of that right now because it's looking okay. Not market, damn it. Got my orders mixed up there. Okay, I got to go cancel the market order. Okay. And then, okay, we are sitting in the right spot here, but it's looking like it's going to break out. Oh, here we go. I should fill now. What? Why am I not filling? Strange. What? Oh my gosh. I'm on the wrong damn stock. And I don't have anywhere near the money to. Why did it even let me make that order? That's crazy. Okay, I think I should get to fill now. Any minute here. Any second here. Oh, it's on day again. Jesus. You can't. The mechanical issues, you can't let them get to you, man. Okay, there we go. Finally, I'm in. Where's the stop to $6 roughly right now is what I'm going to try for. So that's about 75 cents for, so about $1.50 upside for 2 to 1. Should be 8.25. Look at the retracement on this to see what we're really talking about here. That's almost exactly where we can expect it to go. But it could pop and then go to 10 something. So keep an eye on it. Like I said, I'm in it. Where I want to take it off is shit. Okay, I'm going to have to go back on this daily chart in order to get any other targets on this. Let's go to look way back. Way back. Okay, here we go. We're already in that. So this could really fly. 850 easily. Maybe 780 could be my first little portion that I take off. 780. So I'll put that over here. And then 850. 849 up there as well. That's for like 25% of my position at those two targets. And the reason why is because I want to leave some in reserve, because I believe once we pop those levels higher, let me see how that will transpire. Okay. To 940, 995. All right, so I'll put those in as well. 940, 85. Notice I put it always a penny below each level. Good morning, Michael. So that's 250. So that's about 50-60% of my position. And then I'll put another one here at 1039. And from there, we'll just watch. So if it happens to blast through all these this morning, 1039, we're going to stop out at $6 if it does go the other way. So far, so good. And it does look like a fair bit of buying pressure on this one. So good. And hasn't been a dilution event for 2.5 years, 2 years. So that's also a semi-positive sign that they don't frequently, habitually dilute. Monday? Yes, it's Monday. Monday? Oh, you mean why am I, oh, you mean Monday the stock? MNDY? Monday.com? I mean, because today's Monday. What are you talking about? I mean, Monday's a good stock, yeah. I don't know what you mean. Live. Yes, I'm live today. We're looking at TRV. We're not really interested in planting seeds in much right now because the market's in such shambles. This was the biggest sell-off in like 7 years now. Not the strongest. Like it hasn't got. It's the most. How could I say? The most unflinching. That's a good way to put it. The most unflinching 2 weeks of sell-off. Yeah, the most unflinching 2 weeks of sell-off that we've seen in 7+ years. Yeah, go ahead, Mom. You want to tell me now? Here, it's something about the stock trading. I sent you an email. Yeah, tell me. Or I'll call you after the show if you wanted to. All right, 2 minutes until the market open. The market opens. We're sitting in TRVI. We also got Chicken Point or some shit. CKPT. Checkpoint Therapeutics, that looks like an acquisition. Also, Redfin is an acquisition this morning, so we're not interested. STSS. Sharps Technology, no, that does not look good at all. BDRX, we've seen that before. Nah, pops and drops. TRVI is our only good opportunity this morning, and it could fail out. I'll have to exit at $6 if it breaks below $6. Remember the scene from The Player? Sure, I know The Player. I remember that movie. Yeah. Okay, market's going to open in 45 seconds. The Player, that's a great movie. So old now, you know? So I don't think as many people will be able to ever appreciate that movie. Moving forward now. It hasn't necessarily stood the test of time or anything. But, okay. But I think I remember that movie pretty well, yeah. Wait a minute now, The Player, that was the one, yeah, with Robert Altman directed that, I believe. Really, it had some really cool moments. Directing-wise. He had a very interesting way of directing. He liked to put everybody on mic live so they could just talk over each other if need be. A lot of profit taking on TRVI right out of the gate. Half of that is buying, and it looks like it's being overtaken by selling. I'm going to go ahead and flatten out right now. I'll get back in if I want to. I'll need to see some strength, some buying pressure. Out on TRVI. Something I said, yeah. What did I say that was like The Player? Did I quote The Player? Maybe I quoted something from The Player. Tim Robbins. It also makes me think of the Kevin Bacon one with J.T. Walsh. why can't I think of that one? He's a screenwriter. All right, I'm about to get back in on TREI. There we go. I'm back in. Okay, we're going to give this another go. I already forgot all my targets, but basically looks like it was 840. Yeah. So I get up there and I'll just manually sell if we get up there. The market's flat. This week we have CPI on Wednesday and PPI on Thursday. So this is an inflation event week. So it's a good idea to just stay out of the freight train's ways. Were you going to tell me which scene, Ma? Ma! The meatloaf. Ma! There's this fucking weird cat out here. I don't know if you've ever seen those. All right, you hooked me, market makers, on TRVI. All you got to do is get over $7 to keep my confidence, but if you don't, then you got me. But if you can get over $7, then then the bullish action is real. So it's 43 million. It's okay. I just double check this isn't an acquisition. It doesn't look like it from the shape of things, from the shape of the trading. Maintained at buy. Phase 2 trial shows significant reduction in cough count. Maintained at buy by Needham. Jumps on chronic cough therapy success. Top line results from treatment of patients with reoccurring chronic cough. Kind of like fucking something I have. I like how this like permanent pneumonia like drip in the back of my throat that like probably once or twice a day, I think. But maybe a day goes by, but I just don't notice or something. But once or twice a day, I'm going to take a little bit off here when we pop 7. This is about to happen. We pop 7 because there's going to be a lot of energy there. There we go. All right. You sort of got to capture that when that happens. All right. So now my next targets, though, are like 840, just under 840 on Trevi Therapeutics. So anyway, yeah, sometimes I'll have a cough like that. But now I'm hooked on Trevi here. This is good. That was the right action. So throughout the day, I'll be raising my stop on this. I'll try to hold this as far as it'll let me. I did want to take, minor profit there. I think I took 12% out on that pop. What was that? 50 out of 450. 11.1%. I said 12%. See, actually, I knew it was 11% repeating, but I just sort of rounded it. I did the math correctly in my head because 50 out of 450 is 1/9, and as we all know, 1/9 is 11.1 repeating, about 0.11. Repeating. As we all know. Tim Robbins in the restaurant. I don't necessarily remember the restaurant scene, but I think, oh no, that was LA Story. I was thinking about when the earthquake starts happening. Was L.A. Story a Robert Altman film too? They feel similar in my memory. They have a similar quality. That scene at the table, the earthquake. I think that was Robert Altman. Yeah, Steve Martin was there. But what was the name of the other film? Hollywood. The one with Kevin Bacon. Let's see. Hollywood screenwriter Kevin Bacon. What is that movie? Bacon movie. Could have typed J.T. Walsh on that. Probably would have given me the result. J.T. Walsh. The Big Picture. The Big Picture. There we go. So The Big Picture, L.A. Story, and The Player. All really cool movies around Hollywood, the Hollywood filmmaking scene. The Player, an actual murder mystery. L.A. Story, just philosophical. There's another one, Grand Canyon, Kevin Bacon. No, Kevin Kline, rather. And Steve Martin, directed by Lawrence Kasdan. Mary McDonald. The Big Picture. And what was the one you used to The Player and L.A. Story and Grand Canyon. If any of you have ever seen those, where he says, maybe. Did everyone go silent? Then they all laugh. Oh, yeah. You keep saying you're an idiot. I do. Silence. Then you start talking about stocks. I do. Oh. Okay. It's good to be humble, you know. Even when you're so fucking smart. It's even better to be. Smarts get you nowhere. I mean, well, yes, smarts get you somewhere, but I mean, in the end, when you're dead, at the end of your life, you know. Well, no, actually, it's useful because your legacy can include what you leave. What is a legacy? A legacy is what you leave the world. So, I plan on writing 2 books. That's going to be my legacy. One on film scoring and one on stock market trading. I might write more than one book on the stock market trading. But the film scoring, I intend to write the Bible on that craft. All right, we're still sitting here on Trevi, and it is a high-type flag. Very nice. Loving it. This is what this high-type flag looks like. Yeah, I might be able to, let's see, oops, there we go. I might be able to add on to this. I'm not quite sure, depending on if we can get some stops raised. Okay, that was the first strong, deep pullback after tightening. So that was not good price action movement. So we might see a breakdown of strength coming right now. What second are we on? Okay, we got 20 seconds left. Yep, there it is. I was correct. But all in all, the volume is quite weak at the moment. So, and 1/5. No, I think it's still going to hold, though. Probably hold over 660 here. Hilarious. No, you say stop trading. Then you start talking about stocks. Say if you're trading, you're an idiot. Then you start going on about stock trading. Really? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Alan Silvestri, another film composer, once told me over dinner, lunch together. He said, and I believe this, you have to have a certain mental disease, a certain mental sickness. And this was something he said 5 years ago to me. This was before the internet and everyone was so much more aware of mental illness in society, et cetera, et cetera. But he said, you have to have something mental illness, something mentally wrong, mentally unhealthy inside your brain in order to do it, in order to do what he does. In order to, because it's just like you work incredibly hard. It's not a regular job, You work incredibly hard for several months in a row, and then you get some time off. If you're not slated for other work right after that, you just work and work and work and work every waking hour of the day, the hardest you've worked in your entire life, and then if you can find some time to rest at some point, you take a little break if you have it. That's when you get your rest. I've done 3 days in a row of no sleep when I was younger, in my young 20s, meeting deadlines and doing the tough work. And anyway, it's the same thing with stock trading. I mean, you got to have a bit of a screw loose to be able to jump into the fire with stock trading. This week in the market, Mom and everybody, you just want to be careful. We're going to get CPI numbers on Wednesday morning, and then we're going to get PPI numbers on Thursday morning. Sometimes they're switched on rare occasion, but CPI is core inflation, is the main headline type number for inflation. CPI on Wednesday. It used to be called consumer inflation, I believe. And then PPI on Thursday is producer inflation. It used to be called wholesale inflation. And in some ways, it's the Thursday number that actually gives you the more accurate number, because the inflation of things in the pipeline are closer. Those numbers are closer to the current state of truth in the wholesale, because the pipeline it's sooner, and then consumer inflation is from the wholesale pipeline point to retail. That distance is contained by inventory and stocking, like when you stock a store, a retail store. So, the price of TVs or goods or whatever it is, computers, anything, how much it costs to make them, shows up more as a leading indicator in the PPI number. The CPI number is based on stock and inventory from 6 months, 8 months, however long it takes to sell all those TVs in the back of Best Buy before they bring them out front. You know what I'm saying? So there's a delay there, plus shipping, So the smarter hedge fund and institutionals understand that PPI really is the most important number, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the market, you always, what do they say? The market is always right. So if the market wants to move big time on a CPI number, then, you can't change that. It's going to do what it's going to do. All right, we are finding some resistance to breaking to new levels on Trevi, but volume is waning. So it's quite possible we settle in these in the upper half of $6 here. Another option is it breaks down and the trade is over. So we'll see how it goes. It looks like that's sort of what's happening right now at the moment. But it looks like a lot of liquidity day traders and as such just bought it up. Just bought up the dip. That's what they were waiting for. And so all that selling pressure has changed hands. And I think overall this trend shows that the bulls are winning on this stock, Trevi. Okay, talk this week. Okay. Yeah, that will be a hoot. Yeah, CPI, yeah, on Wednesday morning. What is this? Palantir dropped, and then people are buying the dip, it looks like. Yeah, not interested. The market is totally under fire, and it's staying under fire and under pressure. It's going to be months. It's not going to turn around in a day. It's got to hit bottom, then start coming up, and that is going to be questionable. It's just going to take months. So we have lots of time to be patient, and you should probably start with just liquid day trading for now until you see signs of stability, like a bottoming. Once you see signs of a bottoming that you can kind of trust in, you might be able to do call credit spreads. And then if that starts working, then you could start to add swing scalping. And now we're talking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months away. If everything starts really shaping up, maybe we hit some new all-time highs on the market in 8 or 9 or 10 months, then you could think about position trading. So we have to make a transition here. The VIX is almost hitting 27. So investing, position trading, even swing trading, not a good idea right now. Not a good idea. The VIX is over 25. Forget it. Over 20, it's questionable. Over 25, absolutely 100% forget it. I got to go out and buy some steaks. For the week, so I'm doing carnivore diet. I've lost 28 pounds this year on the carnivore diet, but I've plateaued right there. And thinking that's because I'm eating calorically too much steak when I eat my steak. I'm doing one meal a day. It's called OMAD, 1 meal a day. OMAD. You can look it up. OMAD carnivore diet. And the theory behind the carnivore diet is that the beef contains a lot of the nutrients that you'd get from even vegetables and other things because the cow's eating all that. It's eating. What's interesting is sometimes I'll get down to this little bite of this white stuff inside of the meat, and it's like fat, but I've rendered it, I've cooked it and everything, right? So, but I get down to it's like this little white. How to describe it? It's like fat, but it's something slightly different. And then when you eat it, it tastes minty. So I looked that up on the internet. I said, what is this minty flavor you sometimes find in this some kind of white stuff that it's like fat, but it's not quite fat? Or what is that? What is that inside beef? And it literally says that's from when cows eat up a like clover patch or patch of mint. It's pervasive and it gets into the cow. Kind of interesting. The more you do the carnivore diet, actually, it's very interesting. You do start to pick up notes, almost like if you become a wine connoisseur, you become a beef connoisseur. You actually do pick up notes of different things, truffles, mushrooms, grass-fed beef. You can tell because after it's aged a couple of days, dry aged, if you do any dry aging, the fat will remain quite white instead of turning yellow. it will stay white. That means it's much more grass-fed than grain-fed. If it's grain-fed, the fat will yellow. Yeah, isn't that fucking wild? Yeah. So crazy. Um, but I've gotten so good at cooking steaks now that I can cook a chuck roast cut to the level of a filet mignon or ribeye or sirloin. I swear to God. Once you get good at controlling your internal and external temperatures, your sear, your basting, your aromatics, your oils, your seasonings, your dry aging, your agings, your cooking times, your temperatures, your reducing, your increasing, your resting times, and then I do deglazing and whew, boy, have I gotten good at cooking steaks, man. And honestly, at this point, I'm at a level, and I'm trying to increase that level now, which is I'm trying to increase my sear confidence, get that sear on there without it burning, getting that Maillard reaction, getting the browning that you see in bread, like sourdough bread or something like that, that Maillard reaction you get in proteins and glutens. And another thing is I've gotten absolutely masterful at breaking down the collagen that's inside. So when you eat a steak, and some of you like it rare or medium rare, or some of you don't like it rare or whatever, but it's okay to be medium rare. If you do it right, if you take it off the heat before 130 Fahrenheit, some people take it off at 122, 125, 127, somewhere in there, and then they rest it while it continues to cook to 130, 135. The problem is because it never got actual energy at the 130 Fahrenheit level or higher, it doesn't break down the collagen inside there, inside the part that you would call rare. And so you'll notice this. Check this out next time. When you look at a steak inside that's medium rare or rare, and you've got the pink area, and it's like a little bit less than pink, it's more red-ish, which is fine if you cook it right. But look at it. See if it's all connecty in a gel. So it looks like a gel. It's like glossy and solid, like Jell-O, like gelatin. It looks more solid. Then you didn't cook it properly up to 130 Fahrenheit or more. What you want to see is that you want to hit that 130 Fahrenheit for just a moment until it hits like 132, and then take it off, because that will break apart and cook out. It'll break apart the bonds in the collagen and creates that textured inside. Do you know what I'm saying? There's it can be medium rare and red, exactly the same, but instead of it being gelatinous like Jell-O, like a blob inside, it will look like it has little balls, almost like ground beef, if you will. It's hard to describe. It almost has like a ground beef quality, like that texture, like it has a balling texture to it. That's what you need. That means you did it. You broke down the collagen properly. It's at that point you can just take it off to rest, turn down the pan heat, work on your basting. What did you say? I want to hang out with Evan. So the cool thing is that if you can cook a chuck roast to the level of a filet mignon, a sirloin, or a ribeye, which you can, that's only like $7 to $11 a pound compared to $20 to $30 a pound. So you can really stretch your budget. I mean, my family is super grateful for the tasty steaks when they get a bite. They don't want it as often as I do. But I'm on the diet. I'm trying to lose weight, and another byproduct is you get more fit. You're getting a lot of nutrition. It's an interesting conversion that the body does when you go on the carnivore diet. But anyway, I can cook a filet mignon as well, and I can cook a sirloin or a ribeye, and you probably do get maybe somewhere between 5 and 10% more flavor from the ribeye or the sirloin, but not the filet mignon. You could cook a chuck roast to the level of a filet mignon, but ribeye and sirloin has this really wonderful marbling that causes this delicious juiciness, flavoriness that's hard to top, hard to get. Dude, you look thin. Oh, really? You've been saying that? I've been away for a while. You lost 10 pounds for sure. Yeah, 28 pounds. Yeah, 28 pounds since Christmas, I guess you could say. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody likes a tender steak. That's not true. I mean, there's some people, they want a tough, gray inside on their steak, and maybe they want that outside supercharged grilled. We all want the outside supercharged grilled and delicious and crispy, But there's some people but I think that's because they're afraid of, they're rare. They think it's blood. It's not. It's not blood. It's not blood. Damn, son. And looks like I'm about to flatten out of this trade that maybe isn't going to work out here on Trevi. It is falling over. But anyway, yeah, cooking steaks, man. It's been a journey. Oh, I use this Bluetooth thermometer, which graphs the chart of the pan heat, the external heat on the pan, as well as the internal heat inside of the steak. So I scientifically, get it absolutely accurate. I do kind of a reverse searing technique. Do you know what that means? I had to learn what that means. You're like, what's a reverse sear? At first, you almost can't intuit it. But eventually you learn that it just means to sear it at the end, not at the beginning. That's all. Sear it at the end, not at the beginning. Because there's definitely a school of steak cooking where you get that pan super hot, 400 Fahrenheit or more is where you want it. And then you drop it in searing, and get that Maillard reaction going and do 2 minutes each side. 1.5 inch steak, thick steak, it should come out pretty good. But if you reverse sear, you can get that tender, juicy inside building up by cooking at a low temperature first for a while. It's almost like baking it in the oven, which is what a lot of reverse searers do. Okay, we're about to flatten out of this. We're about to break below the day's low. Trevi, which is a fail out at this point. Waiting for the moment. But you can do it in the pan with a thermometer. You just cook it on low for a while until the meat looks gray. I don't know if you can imagine that, if you've ever done that. If you cook a steak for a while, if you cook beef or a hamburger on a low heat, it never turns brown. It turns gray. I'm out. It never turns brown, It turns gray if you cook it too low. If you cook it on too low of a heat. And that's actually a good way to cook a steak that you've pulled out of the fridge because it's too cold inside. It needs time. You're sort of defrost warming it up kind of in a way. Do that. And it's a really good way. Now, if you had something that was already totally room temperature inside and out, and it, I guess you could, put the thermometer in, you could know that. Then you can go right for the hot sear. But if it's, by the way, if you take a steak out of the fridge and you let it rest for half an hour, 20 minutes, an hour, because they tell you that, it doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference on the inside. Nothing. The inside thermometer will say 37 Fahrenheit for 5 hours. It'll just stay there. The inside will not warm up. So anyway, all right, here we are. That failed out, Trevi. It would have been cool if it did its thing. It did not. We show up every day for some of these day trade opportunities. This one did not work out. The other one did work out. AGMH on Thursday or Friday when we traded that. AGMH, that worked out. Trevi did not work out. I did get some profits on it, and then it failed out, and then I took it out. So I didn't even get a full R loss, so that's good. But all right, everybody, have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe on the market right now. It's doing nothing but pulling back. We'll have CPI numbers on Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, and you know what? I won't be around. I'm traveling. I'm traveling Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I won't be around this last half of the week. Well, it's a good time to be in cash then for me. Good luck, everybody. So tomorrow will be my last this week live, and I have to be traveling Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I might sneak in a live Wednesday, but I don't think so. I'm probably going to just be packing my bags, getting everything ready. Thank you. Everybody stay safe. But I'll be on my phone and stuff, throughout the airports and everything, checking in on everything. So you just go ahead and ask me any questions in the group, and I'm happy to answer. If you have a risk question or a position question, I can see things quickly and easily. Happy to help. All right.